50 years after World War II, the Pacific is once again a hotbed of conflict. This time, however, the battles aren't being fought in the sky, but in the marketplace. Microprose is launching its volley at the flight sim community in the form of 1942, the Pacific Air War. Set in the skies of the Pacific Theater, the Pacific Air War highlights the carrier battles which turned the tide of the war for the Allies. Microprose has spared no expense in making this game as historically accurate as possible. Performance characteristics of both American and Japanese planes have been exhaustively tested. The company even went so far as to locate some surviving pilots who actually flew in air combat in the Pacific to reality check the game. Now that's dedication. Many complaints have been leveled at Microprose for not making enough effort to remain graphically on the cutting edge. The designers of the Pacific Air War are obviously out to silence those gripes. At the very least, this game holds its own against others in its field. As a bonus, graphic detail level configuration is outstanding. A different level of detail can be chosen from several options for every graphic element. At the lowest levels, the graphics engine should provide maximum speed even on a slow machine, and at its highest levels, it should be hard to believe you're sitting at your desk. Replay value was given serious consideration. In order to assure that Pacific Air War will not land on your bookshelf, the designers have created hundreds of unique missions. And if you should devour those in a long weekend of sleepless hyperactivity, they covered that one too by providing a complete mission builder. Still, there's more to a good combat flight sim than flying missions. The Pacific Air War covers this too. Missions can be linked together into campaigns, and the outcome of a mission will have an impact on the next mission in the campaign. This adds a strategic element which should appeal to many gamers and give competitor Pacific Strike a real run for its money. There's no end to the innovations MPS has added to this game. Where most games give the pilot several views which can be accessed with hotkeys, the Pacific Air War has a virtual cockpit feature. The pilot's point of view can be detached and pivoted to almost any angle. Instruments and controls continue to function normally while you check your SIX, so you can monitor your altitude and flight speed out of the corner of your eye. Multiplayer mode is rapidly becoming standard for every gaming genre. The designers weren't blind to this fact and will support modem play. Players can cooperate or go head-to-head with additional computer-controlled planes where there is sufficient bandwidth. Another feature fast becoming a standard is action replay. The Pacific Air War has it, with all the bells and whistles. Pilots can review a mission from any camera angle, fix the camera in space or attached to a plane, and interrupt the replay at any time to resume control. It looks as though 1994 will be a good year for flight sim buffs. Which Pacific War game will emerge the victor in the upcoming dogfight remains to be seen. Microprose 1942, the Pacific Air War, looks like a serious contender, which can only mean good things for gamers everywhere. For more information on the Pacific Air War, choose full text from the pop-up menu to see the designer's notes by producer Ed Fletcher.